Hey mini chums, and welcome back to the Kenwood Kids Club, live from the Mr. Baker's Cakes kitchen. Now it's the final episode of our month-long Halloween takeover today, and I am going to be showing you how to make a really easy but really fun Halloween treat that would be perfect as a snack before you go trick-or-treating, or even as an addition onto your Halloween party table if you've got people coming to your house. Now, I am pre-recording some of the video again this week simply because there's a lot to do, and also there's one bit that's really fiddly, and I think you'll be watching me for about half an hour working on just that one bit if I didn't do at least some of it in advance. So all of this bit is actually pre-recorded, and then right at the end I'm going to jump on live so I can show you the finished bake and we can give it a taste, of course. Now, if it's your first time watching the Kenwood Kids Club here on YouTube, don't forget to hit that big red subscribe button underneath the video. And if you ring the bell icon, you'll also get an email every time we upload a new video, which makes life so much easier. If you've also not headed over to the Kenwood Kids Club website yet, if you do that now and get yourselves registered, you'll have your very own Kenwood Kids Club membership card as well, which is really cool. Anyway, in today's final Halloween video, I'm going to be showing you how to make some creepy critters pizzas. And you know what? After I came up with this recipe, it occurred to me that if we'd done these on pita bread, we could have called them creepy critter pittas. But never mind. So, as I say, this is a super easy recipe. To be fair, it's barely even a recipe because lots of what we're using are just things you can buy in your local supermarket and you're just combining them together. So you will need some pizza bases. These ones were from my local supermarket. They are ready-made, ready to use. If you fancy making your own, that's absolutely fine. I don't think we have a pizza base recipe on the Kenwood Kids Club yet. I think we might need to do one. But as I say, if you want to keep things simple, you can buy your own pizza bases at the supermarket. Easy peasy. You're also going to need some pizza sauce. Now, we do have a recipe for pizza sauce here on the Kids Club. We actually have a hidden veg pizza sauce. So if you fancy making your own pizza sauce, scroll back through our old videos and you will find that one. Or of course, again, you could just buy it. Make it as complicated or as simple as you would like. You're going to need some cheese. And I've got a combination here of mozzarella cheese, which is the one that goes really stretchy and gooey on a pizza, and then some cheddar cheese, mature cheddar cheese, because that's got a really nice flavour to it. So I've mixed those together in equal parts, meaning that I'll get the nice flavour and the nice stretchiness as well. Again, you can buy this really grated. You can buy it yourself and grate it yourself, whatever you would like to do. And then finally, the last ingredient that you will need are some black olives. And now hear me out. You might be thinking, I don't like olives. I don't really like black olives. I love green olives. Black olives are not my favourite, but we're only using a tiny amount on this pizza. So actually, they don't overpower it at all. They're almost just part of the overall flavour. So give them a try. You never know, it might surprise you. Finally, you're just going to need your choice of toppings, and I've chosen to go with these gorgeous mixed tomatoes, so I've got all different colours and shapes in here, and then I've got some fresh baby spinach, which looks like this. You can put anything on these pizzas, pepperoni, chicken, sweet corn, broccoli, whatever you like on your pizzas, you can use them. Just adapt the method to make use of your toppings. I've also just got a couple of other bits and pieces. I've got some salt, I've got some black pepper, and I've got some fresh basil as well, which are just going to make our pizzas taste even more delicious. But I think we should get started, don't you? So first job, get your pizza base, put it on a board, and then you're going to need your pizza sauce. Now, you don't need very much pizza sauce. In fact, with pizza generally, you always need less than you think you need. I'm one of these people that loves my cheese, loves my sauce, and I pile it on, but all that happens is your pizza goes really soggy. So if you want a nice, proper, crispy pizza, follow the instructions really carefully and don't be tempted to use more. So you want about 2 decent sized tablespoons of your pizza sauce, roughly about 100 grams at most, and then you're going to spread it out over the base of the pizza almost right to the edges. You just want to leave about a 1 centimetre crust around the edge, which is the bit you're going to hold when you eat your pizza. By the way, I'm still getting over my cold, so if I'm a bit sniffly, I do apologise. I'm a lot better than I was last week, and thank you again to Zach for stepping in with his chocolate cupcakes for us. The good thing about this being pre-recorded is if I do get a bit sniffly or sneezy, I can edit them out. Okay, so there you go. So there is my sauce on my base, and can you see that kind of 2 tablespoons of sauce is more than enough to cover the whole base of the pizza. The next thing you're going to need is your cheese, and you want about 50 grams of cheese altogether, which is, for me, kind of like a medium handful. For you guys, it might be a slightly larger handful. And you just want to spread this out over the whole base. Now, I actually used to work in a very well-known pizza chain when I was younger, and one of the things that I'd never realised making pizzas myself before that was that you put the cheese on and then the toppings. Whenever I'd made pizzas myself, I'd always put the toppings on and then covered them in the cheese. But no, that's not what we do. So cheese goes on next. And again, don't be tempted to overload it, because all that will happen is all that moisture and grease in the cheese will soak into your pizza base and make it go really soggy. And then it's time for your toppings. So again, I'm using tomatoes and spinach. And I'm just going to place these around on my pizza, and I'm going to choose kind of smaller spinach leaves. And the reason why I like to use the extra toppings and not just go straight in with our critters, as it were, is it almost means that they're hidden amongst the rest of the toppings, whereas if you just did it only the critters, I think it wouldn't be quite so creepy. Is that the right word? So I'm just choosing a few spinach leaves, a few of these tomatoes, and we can always tweak things and move things around in a moment. I'm going to try and use some of the different colours. Hopefully those aren't blocking your view. So a couple of the yellowy ones, a couple of the orangey ones, and some of the red ones. And I've got more than enough ingredients here to do a few pizzas, but I'm just going to do one on camera today. And then we get to the really fun bit. So I'm going to move this pizza onto a baking tray, and I'm going to grab my olives. And to make your critters or your spiders, you're going to start with 1 olive, and then using a sharp kitchen knife, and remember to be careful when you're using a knife, we're going to cut it in half lengthways. If I do that again on another one so you can see, cut it in half lengthways. And one of those halves is going to form the body of your critter or your spider. And then with another olive, so I'll use these 2 that I already had, what I'm going to do is, using the same technique, I'm going to cut it in half lengthways again, and then I'm going to cut each of those halves in half again. Now, those 4 pieces are going to form 4 of the legs of our spider. So of course, spiders have 8 legs, so that's why I need another half. I'm going to cut that in half lengthways, cut it in half again, and cut it in half again. And that will give me my 8 legs. Now, to assemble your spider, bring your pizza back in, find a space, and first of all pop that main body onto the pizza. I find they look most effective when you put them on the cheese because they sink in a little bit. So again, they're a little bit more hidden, but you can decide where you want to put them. And then it's just about grabbing those extra bits. I'm going to move that tomato quickly while I build this, and tucking them against the side of the half olive body that we've got there. So you kind of want the front 2 legs to be pointing forwards, the back 2 legs to be pointing backwards, and then the other 2 kind of go out pointing in those same directions. So again, if I try and do this so you can see it on the other camera, put the 2 pointing backwards first of all. Now I've got some spinach in the way as well. 2 pointing forwards, and then the other ones go in between those, 1 pointing backwards and 1 pointing forwards. Oh. Now I have very big hands, so I'm actually going to be really silly and use some giant food tweezers, but hopefully with your smaller hands you'll be able to do this quite easily. You definitely shouldn't need to use tweezers. In fact, I'm finding it even harder with the tweezers, look. There we go. So there we go, so there's 4 on one side. And 1, 2, I'm a bit scared of squashing the olives, I really don't need to be. 3, and 4 on the other side. And can you see it kind of gives you the effect of a spider on your pizza? And basically you're going to make as many of those as you would like until you're happy with how much topping is on your pizza. So I think I'm going to do 2 or 3 more and then we'll jump ahead and I'll show you what the finished pizza looks like ready for the oven. Once you've finished assembling your critters and placing them onto your pizza, you should have something that looks a bit like this. And you can see I've gone for 3 of my spiders or my critters in the end. And now this pizza is almost ready to go in the oven, but just to finish it off, I'm going to use a tiny, tiny little bit of salt, a pinch of black pepper, and those are just going to really bring out those flavours for us. And then this needs to go into a preheated oven at 200 degrees, which is 180 degrees fan, gas mark 6, for around about 12 minutes. You're looking for this crust around the edge to be going a golden brown colour, and all of the cheese should have melted. Now I'm going to go and put mine in the oven now, and hopefully next time you see me we'll be live and I will have my finished pizza ready to go. So I will see you soon. Are we back? Hopefully you are back with me live in the Mr. Baker's Cakes kitchen, and here is my finished pizza. So hopefully you've just watched me put this together, assemble it if you will, and this has actually been out of the oven for a little while now because, of course, with the timings of the video and everything, it wasn't possible to kind of match it up perfectly. But hopefully you can see that we've got our kind of creepy little spidery creatures nestled in amongst the toppings there. And then I've got my tomatoes and my spinach, and if I'm honest, it smells amazing. So just before I chop this up and give it a taste, we're going to add 1 more topping now that it's out of the oven, and that is some fresh basil. Now you can buy fresh basil in the supermarket just in little packets, or you might have a basil plant in your garden, or you can even buy basil plants that you can pop on your windowsill so that they're close at hand in your kitchen. And actually that's what I've got. If I bring it in and show you, this normally lives on my windowsill in my kitchen, and as long as you keep it watered they will last really, really well. So I've just taken kind of 3 or 4 leaves and I've rolled them up to make like a sausage, and we've done this before. And then all I'm going to do using my knife is just very finely chop them into little strips, and this is called chiffonading. We have done this before quite a while ago now, but then when you kind of shake them out of it, it gives you really lovely dainty strips of that fresh basil. And then what I can do is just sprinkle that over my pizza as well, and they'll add another kind of taste sensation, and they'll also hide my critters even more. Now the reason why we add the basil at the end after we've cooked the pizza is it's a very delicate herb and it will actually burn if you put it on before you cook it in the oven. So always best to leave it till the end, but that gives you your finished pizza, and I can't wait any longer. I have to chop this up and give it a try. So I'm going to try and avoid my critters so that they stay intact on their slices. And I'm going to chop this into 6-ish pieces. If you have a pizza wheel, you might find it easier to use that, but I'm using a large knife today. And then, as I say, this is the perfect kind of Halloween treat to have before or after you go trick-or-treating. Or of course, if you're having a Halloween party, you could make a few of these and just pop them on the table for people to help themselves to as part of a buffet. But I'm now going to pick my favourite critter, which I think is this one. And I'm going to hold this up to the camera so you can see it properly. Don't they look awesome? Absolutely love this. I must give credit to the internet. I found this idea on a well-known pinboard based website, so it's not my own creation by any means, but definitely super fun, and I think you'll really enjoy making these for your Halloween celebrations. So without much further ado, let's give this a taste. I don't have any kitchen roll left. I'm just going to hope there's no pizza sauce all around my mouth. Again, I can't really take any credit for this because most of these ingredients were just what they are, you know, pizza base, cheese. But do give our hidden veg pizza sauce recipe a try if you would like to make your own pizza sauce. It's super, super delicious. Chock full of really fantastic vegetables, but it still just tastes like pizza. So with a couple of extra toppings on top, this is a really balanced and nice way to enjoy your pizza. But anyway, I do hope you have enjoyed our month of Halloween inspired recipes and projects for you to complete. If you have had a go at any of them, make sure you head over to the Kenwood Kids Club website and share them with us there. Not only do we love to see them every week, but also you will be entered into our Star Baker of the Month competition, and you could scoop yourself your very own Kenwood Kids Club goodie bag, and of course your Kenwood hand mixer as well. If you are having a Halloween party or celebration, excuse me, then don't forget we did a Halloween takeover last year as well. So we also have a recipe for spaghetti and eyeballs, which is basically spaghetti and meatballs. And in fact, I had the idea you can make the eyeballs from that video, but pop them on your pizza as well. So you could have critters and eyeballs if you fancied it. We also did my pumpkin spice cupcakes with real pumpkin, so you find those here on the YouTube channel as well, and we even made some Halloween chocolate bark too. So between those projects and this year's, which of course were our ghostly meringue kisses I should say, we've got our mummy cupcakes, and yes, these are the ones I made in the video nearly a month ago. I probably won't be eating them now. And our creepy critter pieces. You've essentially got almost everything you need for your Halloween spread this year. So on that note, please do let me wish you a very happy Halloween if you are celebrating, or even if you're not, and I do hope you have lots of fun whatever you decide to do. As always, make sure you are staying safe and well out there, and I will see you at the same time next week for another episode. Until then, as always, happy baking. Bye everyone!